how does the news and media companies work behind the scenes? We said earlier that one of the main questions you should ask yourself when you are faced with a news is who is reporting the news. Because who is reporting the news, you will share it in a way that is interesting to them. We said this in the previous message. Today, we are going to discuss another very, very important point about news that many ignore. Many think that news companies are providing a service to the population with a social obligation to inform. Supposedly, they are informing the population, but they forget that the news media is a business like any other. The media news is not a non-profitable business, quite the contrary. The objective of media companies is profit, is to make money. So it is a business. And like every other business, there's a product. The business sells something. What is the product of news companies? You will be surprised. You will say the news. No, it is not. But the truth is that the product of media companies is you. You are the product of media companies, because what they are selling to their sponsors is your attention, vote, opinion, your mind. Yes, they are selling your purchasing power. I don't know if you knew that, but not only a product, you are also segmented by media companies as a class. When a media company sells advertising space, they sell it according to their research, their audience research, saying what kind of person is watching or connected to that media at that moment. If they are from Class A, the richest one, Class B, the less rich one, Class C, which is the standard population, and then later the D and E classes, which are the poorest classes. So you are sold and segmented in classes. You are the product of media companies, including the ones who share the news. So what do they want from us? They seek our attention, our eyes and ears, and our click. Yes, our click. For example, there is the term called clickbait. So it's a bait for your click. When you open a page on the internet, usually there are those ads with flashy titles and pictures that attracts our curiosity. You basically don't resist from clicking it. And then you click and you keep on clicking and clicking to go through the pictures, because the more clicks you make, the more they earn. So you are the product and you give them money through your attention, eyes, ears, and that is being sold to the advertisers. So what we call news, the daily news, the website news, that's what we call news. It's not necessarily useful information, things that we need to know. It is, in fact, what they sell, what they share, what they publish are the things that attract the most audience. Things what gives more audience, because more audience, more eyes looking at, more ears hearing, means more fingers clicking. So the content itself is designed, is created to generate clicks, to generate attention and curiosity in people, not necessarily to inform or to help, but to excite people's curiosity. And then human nature comes in. Because what calls the human being's attention the most? When you see a traffic congestion, usually there are two reasons for that. Either excess of cars, vehicles going through one road, or there's a congestion caused by an accident that happened on that motorway, on that road. The cars crashed, maybe there's a body on the floor, and everyone is passing by doing what? Turning their heads and looking. They reduce their speed, they pass by, see the car crashed, the person on the floor, and they make a comment like, "Wow, it was very serious, they might have died." The human being stops to look at someone else's misfortune, causing the congestion. There was no need for that. You see that after the accident, the traffic flows. Even if the accident is blocking no lanes, is on the hard shoulder, still, the traffic stops. Why? Because of people's heads turning to look at others' misfortune. So what draws the most attention from human beings? You can see that the news, 90% of what you see as news falls into one of these categories. Either some scandal or rumor of a scandal. Listen, so-and-so was doing this or that. Look what they were doing. Some sort of scandal, some sort of disaster or tragedy. That's why the media loves a natural disaster. A flood, for example, in the US, there are hurricanes. When there's a hurricane in the United States, the news channels, they love hurricanes because the hurricane comes with a warning. It's formed on the sea and in category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the media outlets, they say, there's Hurricane Helena. There's even a name for the hurricane, and then the drama is installed. Okay, it is important to inform the population, but you see that they squeeze as much as they can from that, because everybody is connected with the TV, and at times the hurricane is not all that they've reported, but they love a natural catastrophe because everybody is connected to the TV. I'm sorry, but this is the reality. Scandals, disasters, tragedies, crimes, so-and-so kill the other. A robbery, crimes becomes news, and also celebrities. That is why you see so much futile, useless news about celebrities. Look at the diet that so-and-so is doing. Look at the six-pack that they have. And they create new terms for a six-pack. And they taking pictures on the beach. Anyway, celebrities, crimes, disasters, tragedies, and scandals. Around 90% of what you see as news falls into one of these four categories. that you've just heard. So you can verify that. Anytime, any hour, if you open a news website, you who are doing the fast of Daniel, I wouldn't recommend you to do that, but anytime that you open a news website, you'll find that spread through its pages, whether TV or radio. Anyway, what do we conclude? Most news, so to speak, is not news. It's just a way to hold your attention. Why? Because your attention is the product which is being sold. Now I ask you, is this the kind of content that you need in your life? Do you need that? Do you really need that? When you say, I watch the news, do you really need this content in your head every day? And to conclude, as we said at the beginning, the media news is a business, and like every other business, there must be money. Where does the money come? From the advertisers, companies, and government, as we spoke previously. Directly or indirectly from you. They profit from sales, decisions you will make as a result of the news, of the information, and will bring profit to the one who is interested. And at times it's not money. I remember that once the Universal Church was going to hold an event at Maracanã Stadium, and we were expecting 200,000 people, and one TV station from Rio de Janeiro announced that there would be a storm, a great storm. Everything was showing that a storm would happen on that day of the event, at that day, at that time, and that nobody should leave their homes. But it was a clear lie that they spoke so much about it. Don't leave your house, rain, storm, all that. Lying. And there was none of that. But the intention was for people not to leave their home and the event to be a failure. Fortunately, it was a success. People didn't give credit because people were mature, even back then in those days. Especially when we speak about Universal Church. When they speak about Universal Church, it gives the media attention, an audience. And I conclude here talking about money, that the Word of God says. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and harmful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So the love of money, which includes the search for profit that the media makes, because it is a business and they are in search of money, has been a snare for many and the root of much evil in people's lives. So you must be careful with this. Don't forget, you are the product of the media. And don't forget, if you really want to give your eyes, ears, and clicks to these people that are using you, and often using you with lies, passing useful information, and at times lying, biased, just to gain your attention and to profit from you. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.